Yeah, I think so. I think it's been a good balance of, kind of working hard, but also, there's one day where we just did skills and kind of took it a little easier and then really ramping it up this week with some scrimmages and getting back into that competitive nature that we really missed in the last 2 weeks that you can't really, it's tough to simulate in just practice, but we're doing the best we can.
Even though you guys have home ice, you're starting on the road. Is there a little bit of a mental advantage to starting on the road after a long layoff, being that, it might be a little bit sharper, mentally focused, that type of stuff? Just making something up in my head.
Yeah, I don't know if there's an advantage to starting on the road, really, but we're just excited to get started, really. It's felt like a long time, so we're eager to get going as a group and see what we can do. We know we have a lot of potential, so it doesn't mean anything if you don't execute, though, so we're just excited to get going.
You've been in this position before with deep runs. What do you say to some of the younger guys that haven't, experienced an NHL playoffs or a deep run?
Yeah, I think first part is enjoy it, but the second part is you really got to embrace the grind. It's a totally different beast, whether it's just finishing checks or taking stuff after the whistle. And I think a big thing too is discipline. I think you see it in the NHL playoffs every night. Sometimes it's hard to control your emotions when the stakes are that high, and some of the teams that do the best are the ones that are most disciplined too.
For teammates, players that haven't been through a long run like you did last year with Springfield, kind of, what is that emotion like as it starts to build and you start to think, we're actually getting closer here?
Yeah, it's really exciting. Honestly, it's crazy when you're playing hockey in late May and early June, but it's an awesome feeling. There's such an excitement and energy around the rink every day, and just fun to know you're one of the last teams in the world still playing competitive hockey. So I think you just got to embrace it and enjoy it as much as you can.
Obviously, from kind of the fans and media standpoint, it looks obviously like the skill, the pace is a lot higher. But, on the ice as a player, how different does it feel compared to the regular season?
There definitely are some differences in, just the overall compete level on the ice. I think everything is heightened, especially in the first series where it's, for us, it's be a best of 5, and, every little detail and mistake or error can really be heightened. So I think everything is just, under a microscope.
Ian Olin, RMNB. I wanted to ask you quickly, now that you're kind of becoming a veteran player now, what you see in some of the rookies here in Hershey, like Vincent Iorio, Hendrix Laperriere, Ethan Frank, what has made them so great this year?
I think they're really detailed in their day-to-day routine. I think that's probably one of the hardest things about becoming a pro is just trying to find consistency in your game, and all three of them have dealt with it in different ways, and not just those three, the rest of the rookies too. So it's just one of those things that I'm happy for them that they're going to get to experience playoffs early on. I think that's going to be huge for their development and their careers, and hopefully their NHL careers too. So I think the sky's the limit for those three, and I'm looking forward to a big run for all three.
Connor McMichael ended up getting the A when Mike Vecchione went down with an injury. I wanted to ask you, what has he done to be more of a leader on the team, and what have you seen from him this year as a player?
Yeah, I think we all know that situation and know that he's a competitive guy, and like anyone, he wants to be in the NHL. We all want to be in the NHL. It's just he hasn't let off-ice stuff, kind of affect his play and his attitude down here. I think he's gotten to become a much more complete player, and he seems to be playing every situation, and he's one of our go-to guys, and that's why he was so good down the stretch, and it's great to see his development as a player and as a guy.
As a local guy, you might have a good perspective on this. With the Capitals missing the playoffs this year, all eyes kind of point to you guys in following your postseason run with Hershey. Kind of, what does that feel like for you as someone more local?
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, I grew up idolizing the Caps and those runs, and when they went to the finals in '98, I was 5 years old, and I think I cried my eyes out when they lost. But yeah, it's great. The local support is awesome, and whether it's just social media or fans reaching out in whatever way, we definitely feel their presence. So it helps in any way, and obviously the fans here in Hershey are the best in the league, and it's going to be fun atmosphere here.
The last thing I wanted to ask you about was the Roar celebration. Who has the best Roar celebration, and maybe can you explain to me how it started and how it kind of spread throughout the team? It defines you guys now in some ways.
Yeah, I think it started in years past. I want to say Vex, and I don't know really what's the story behind it, but it's definitely contagious, and it kind of fires the boys up on the bench, and it's just kind of a fun thing.
Other than Vex, who you say has the best one?
I would say besides Vex, I will go Henrik Borgström.
Okay, cool.